And so I really think it's important to drive this home. So I thought I'd give a good example. It's critical to remember that I am open minded and ready to accept things that are maybe not popular or whatever. So one time somebody came in the live stream and contested the moon landing, and my initial response to it was, "Why do you have doubts of the moon landing? What is it about you that you don't?" Well, I asked the question I normally ask, which is, okay, well, first question: do you believe in escape velocity? If they're not willing to answer that question, if they're willing to say yes, then there's no point in talking with them further because I'm trying to figure out why it is they believe the moon landing was faked. What's their justification behind it? So I did my normal tests with this person, and he gave all the right answers, which is to say he didn't think that it was impossible. He did think that we had satellites. He did think it was possible to go to the moon. He just thinks that in that instance we didn't because we tried to, but figured we couldn't make it, and so we decided to fake it instead. Okay, well that's at least sort of plausible, right? It's not like the Earth's flat and or there's no way to escape the Earth's atmosphere or something like that. All right, so then I said, well, okay, but I mean, why do you think it's why you need more than just a plausible link story? That's the only plausible link story, right? So there's lots of ways you could explain motivationally why this occurred or how this occurred or whatever, but the only one that seemed remotely plausible is that they were actually trying to do it and then fell short and decided to fake it rather than be embarrassed or something. Okay, that's at least sort of plausible. So he said, well, Google moon rocks. So I Google them. It doesn't take much to, I'll look at some shit on right away and I'll tell you right away whether there's anything to it or not. And it doesn't take me long. So I Googled it. I found this all in one article last time, but I found it two here. So let's talk about this. After all this journey, this is about the Apollo mission. Ultimately, they revealed Apollo's biggest story, the origin of the moon itself. The most striking analytical finding showed the samples were eerily similar to Earth rocks in several ways, specifically in oxygen isotopes, and that's why they decided that the moon likely formed when a Mars-sized body struck Earth, and that's why their rocks are so similar, right? And then this is before the new Chinese rocks came down, okay? This group, Eric Cano, graduate student, and his colleague conducted new high precision measurements of the oxygen isotope compositions of a variety of lunar samples from the Apollo missions. Although rock that formed near the lunar surface appeared to have an oxygen isotope composition identical to that of Earth's rocks, rock types that formed deeper in the lunar mantle, such as volcanic glass and basalt, had a distinct isotopic composition. The new work was published in Nature Geoscience. Cano doesn't have a clear answer about why the difference among lunar samples wasn't found in the previous analysis. It could just be the selection of samples we got from NASA that covered a wide variety of different types of rocks. It could just be the selection of samples that we got from NASA that covered a wide variety of the different rock types. Why would you even have that? But this seems very suspicious that in 2020, they're making new conclusions that upend the existing explanation of the moon's origin based on rocks they got from the Apollo mission. We're talking 60 years ago. And there's no explanation as to why they didn't draw the exact opposite conclusion than they drew sometime in the intervening 60 years. Oh, we just didn't get to that rock? I mean, it's kind of shocking, right? So, does that convince me the moon landing was fake? No, but it does convince me I'm not ready to negate that guy. He's a good thinker. It's like it doesn't. In the end, it doesn't matter if he proves to be correct or not. What matters is whether he understands the difference between a good warrant and a bad one. This is a good warrant. It's surprising. It's like, what do you know? That's incredibly bullshit. I mean, it's like, there's no way oh, by the way, we re-looked at those rocks from 60 years ago. Yeah. Actually, the exact opposite thing is true about them that we said 60 years, for the last 60 years. You gotta be kidding me, right? So, I mean, I don't know what the hell this is all about, but I've always accepted the moon landing is legit. I've never really, I thought probably people who questioned it were a little bit cuckoo. But, I mean, this makes me say, okay, maybe, That's crazy. That's all it takes. All he had to say was Google moon rocks. He had a genuine, good justification. And he made me go from, of course the moon landing was real, to, well, you know what? I guess I'm not well researched enough about this. It doesn't take much. You just have to be right. You just have a good reason. That's what I mean by right. He's right. That's suspicious. He's right. That's a justification to conclude some bullshit was going on. That's what I mean by he was right. He used good thinking to point me to an actual justification for something. It's not, all you got to do is be correct, and I'll agree with you.